Can Kaspa's cryptocurrency recover at the moment? Are we seeing a trend reversal, and what needs to happen to break out further here upwards? And what is coming in the near future? And of course, the latest news here in the new Kaspa update. Hey, welcome. Many people keep asking me, when are you doing the next Kaspa video? I actually always plan to do it every 2 weeks. But if nothing significant happens, then it might take a little longer. But once a month, I definitely want to update you on one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, namely the cryptocurrency KAS, which is behind the Kaspa project. And of course, we start with the current situation, which might not be so good unless you want to get in, namely the chart. And it is currently, well, let's be honest, not so nice. It's fluctuating around 7 cents right now, and the low point was here. 45 cents, so $0.55. Yes, that is currently the low point for buying. In the daily chart, it looks extremely grim. It's going down here and nothing has happened since then. We are waiting for a big update, which we will get to shortly. We are waiting for more exchanges that could come after the update, and so on. We are actually currently waiting for something to happen. And as long as nothing happens in the chart either. That's obviously clear. I thought the other day, after a new listing was announced, I thought, what's going on here? Okay, at first glance, when you look at it like that, the points up here. Yes, at first I thought OKX is there. No, it wasn't OKX after all. It's Orbit. Orbit is now where Kaspa is now listed. Okay, too bad. But it could have been, so not a big deal after all. Or maybe a big deal from OKX. We had already mentioned that OKX, yes, makes such hints. And now there was a hint. That's a really stupid coincidence. Because it's not Kaspa's green. And the 90% are really stupid right now. Coincidence. Or is the Kaspa listing coming after all? Are they teasing the Kaspa listing all the time with the wrong green? I don't think so. I think their DeFi platform is coming, but surprises can still happen. And that's this here. OKX has announced, once again, a green image, or rather a green theme. And the chart is also going down, which would currently fit Kaspa as well. And 90%. New alternative, the 90%, has reached. Now the question is 90% of the update. Let's dive in. 214,000, 217,000 people have, or 217,000 users have seen this tweet. Yes. But what still has 19%? We saw the chart. It's going down here. Could fit. Green doesn't fit. 90%. Let's take a look at that. Specifically meant with Kaspa. Currently over 90%. So Kaspa has completed the mining with over 90% of all cash. Cryptocurrencies, or rather cash coins. Stupid coincidence, right? Yes, Kaspa himself wrote something about it. About the 90%. And the big topic is, what does that actually mean? 90%? Yes, 90% means that 90% are already mined. That means 10% are still to be circulated and 90% are in circulation, or are held in miner wallets or also in exchange wallets. And these 90% are completely in circulation? Yes, but we have proof of work. So, a proof of work network, which means the miners will no longer be profitable in that form. In mining, when the last 10% are there, they will instead bring in their own fees with transaction fees, in order to keep the network stable at all. And that is, of course, very exciting. So far, we haven't had a proof of work network where everything has been completely mined out. At least it has happened with small projects, but Kaspa, being in the top 100, stands solid compared to many others. And these could then be mined out with the last 10%. And that means all 100% are in circulation. And that is, of course, something very interesting. How far is the network then? How much is it used? How widespread is it? Do we then have the smart contracts? They could be coming soon. Do we then also have large exchanges? And the price is high. And perhaps applications will come through the smart contracts and enough happens. Transactions. So that the miners don't say 100% are mined out, but rather that they say, I stay on the network and now earn with the network fees by verifying the blockchain here. A big topic is also when the network fees increase. Many do not expect that. Many simply hope that many transactions will then occur. And whether that will happen, only the future can show. And that's why it's quite exciting. Here are some more points that Kaspa himself mentioned. You can feel free to read through them. You will find the link, as always, in the video description, where all the sources I handle or work with in the video are listed. Work. Then, of course, it continues with Kaspa wanting to show himself again. For example, showing up at events. And the next Blockchain Expo, Festival of Europe, is announced to take place in Warsaw. It has already been held in Warsaw before. I believe 2 or 3 times already. It might even be the 5th time. 5th time in Warsaw. But to be honest, this NBX has also been held in other cities. Perhaps not the friendliest picture was chosen, to be honest. She is Polish. Maybe that's the reason for not looking so friendly. I don't know. In any case, she is participating as a Kaspa ambassador at the next Blockchain Expo in Warsaw. Maya, you can definitely drop by in Poland if you're nearby. By the way, there are now very, very many Kaspa ambassadors. We see that many are represented in Europe right now. You can check it out here. There are now even 2 in Germany, or rather at the border. Even the 3rd one is represented here, and you might also meet them at such events, or rather, they are also contacts and represent the Kaspa project worldwide. So it's very, very exciting that Kaspa is back at events, because many really missed Kaspa not being represented at events last year. I believe the MBX was the last event where Kaspa itself made announcements, and otherwise, were there really only a few? And also the meme tokens that did a bit of advertising, but overall it's just starting up again. Now, so the last 3-4 months, of course, it was quiet, as there were generally just few events. So many people who said they're not attending events anymore, there were just few events. January and February have very, very few events in general. Now the opportunity to take advantage of the low price. If you want to buy Kaspa, then check out the Maxi exchanges. Maxi has over 2,800 cryptocurrencies listed and extremely low fees. You can easily buy Kaspa here, for example, via HAL, Spot, or as a USDT pair, and then also from Maxi. For example, send it to your Tangem hardware wallet with the Kaspa logo and securely store Kaspa on your hardware wallet. Additionally, you can also engage in future trading here. There are even a leverage of over 200 is possible if you want to do that. Additionally, there are extremely many events here every day. AirDrop Plus, as a new user, you can really take advantage of it. By the way, as a new user, there's an additional 10% cashback on all fees you pay at Maxi. A little bit of fees, and then get a bit of cashback with the link in the video description. Additionally, there are the future M days. So if you're into trading, it makes sense to grab something here right now, because every day there's 80, 70, 800 lots in bonuses to be distributed from all trading. So if you're successful, then you can participate here, and it's every day. Additionally, they have a mega event. The whole thing is currently finished here, but it starts again this Saturday. Very important, you deposit via Maxi, for example, by using a credit card, fiat deposit, or bank transfer. You do this, and then you receive a 100% bonus. This means you receive a future bonus. For example, you deposit 100 euros in USDT, and at the end of the day, you get another 100 euros in USDT as a future bonus and can go short and long with it as you wish. You have fun, and you can simply withdraw the profits. So it's a great event, this great event. This is valid every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So on Saturday, the whole thing restarts. Check out our Telegram group where the link will be posted if there are any updates. I will also change the pinned comment here with this great event link. So over 2,800 cribs have an effect. Check out Maxi and use the video description or pinned comment. There are also current media articles about Kaspa. And that's interesting because if you take a look at it, it was posted today. From BCN, they brought a news piece about Kaspa, and that was, of course, interesting again. By the way, one of my favorite pictures can be found here. Oh, I find this picture so beautiful. So, it's very cool that Kaspa is being reported on again. Here's another piece of news. So, Kaspa is a bit of a hot topic again, even if the price might not reflect it. Has Kaspa now started marketing? Or is it perhaps just a coincidence that Kaspa is being reported on right now? Or have the news outlets discovered that there's really a good opportunity to get involved here? Why and how, when Kaspa should rise here, that's the big topic I've been telling you about for weeks when I'm asked about Kaspa. We are waiting for an update. And this update is extremely good, namely TN10. Or rather, Cardano. Now I probably pronounced it wrong again, it could be TN10. Has completely and successfully completed the transition to 10 BPS. That means in the testnet, everything is there. That means 10 blocks per second, faster transactions, and better processing are already there in the testnet for this Ghost DAG blockchain. DAG. And this update is supposed to come additionally Smart contracts, a big topic, can be built upon it. And for this update, a hard fork is needed. And this hard fork, which is very important, is what many are currently waiting for. And many, including myself, assume that most exchanges are also waiting for this hard fork. Why should I list a cryptocurrency now? And know exactly that in 2 or 3 weeks a hard fork is coming, and then I also have to change something. Then I'd rather wait for this hard fork. So now it's 2 more weeks. Previously it was 2 more months. I'd rather wait for this hard fork and then say, look, freshly forked, new updates, more modern, better, faster, and so on. I can now simply list the whole thing and have peace of mind for now. Makes sense, doesn't it? And this exact update is anticipated, and the whole thing will be a hard fork version at the end of March. And simultaneously, at the end of April, or rather the beginning of May, the whole thing will be on the mainnet. So the whole thing will take a little longer, to be quite honest. But overall, it's coming. Additional functions. Many are saying, are these already the smart contracts? Or rather functions where you can then build smart contracts. So a very important topic. And this was posted here on the 10th March, so 2 days ago. Kaspa shows therefore that progress is being made, or rather something is coming here. Then the big topic is still currently made in US cryptocurrencies. Because a made in US cryptocurrency might even be included in this crypto reserve, or rather now be included in this digital asset stockpile. And that would, of course, be positive news if suddenly a Kaspa appears there. At least before it was known that this stockpile involves buying, but also selling. Yes, before, in the announcement, it would probably have triggered a big green candle, as we have seen. For Solana, XRP, and Cardano, respectively. Are they? Yes, but that's not the case. However, made in US, Kaspa has now been officially listed. Now, one might go and say perhaps many miners are based in America, or rather in the USA. And that's why many also say maybe there are company headquarters that have something to do with Kaspa, etc. So there is certainly a precise explanation. But honestly, I find this list completely uninteresting. The list, there are so many cryptocurrencies in it where I think what you have to do with the USA, and then somehow it says, yes, an ambassador or an employee or a former CEO is or comes from the USA. Yes, okay, yes, let that list be there. For me, it's completely uninteresting. A list that is a bit more interesting to me is this community list. Here you have the voices of the community. You can vote a little up and down here every day. How do you currently find the mood about it? And Kaspa is still in third place there. They were in first place for a long time. Now the Crunch community has voted a bit more. And yes, Pi is finally there. PI is finally listed, but I never thought much of PI. And the fact that they were actually listed was a big surprise to me. Well, but Kaspa is holding up well here, currently in third place. And I can also imagine if the price rises a bit more again, then they will also move further up again. Pessimistic mood, official Trump is also in here now. So we see here, this is also an interesting list. You can find the link to it in the video description, of course. So all links, or rather sources that I use here, can be found there. Yes, and this is of course a cool list because people are really actively voting here. Now one might say now the community is being called upon, but if you think about community, Bitcoin is actually a big community. They don't vote here at all because they don't care. Thinking of another big community, we think of the army, the evil XRP army. They didn't want to be so diligent either because they are only in 9th place. So, there are really many people who voluntarily vote for Kaspa. So we know Kaspa is no secret. Huge community, and this huge community is diligently voting here, and that voluntarily really, really exciting. Yes. At the end of the video, there's still a news article I told you about, namely here another news site that wrote why Kaspa could skyrocket in the coming days. Yes, in the coming days might be a bit further. Here is a time for change and so on. You can feel free to read it. You can find the link in the video description. I'm not going into the article because it's not my source. You can read it if you're interested. I'm just saying I've explained it. Many updates are coming. Many things are coming. And very likely the exchanges as well. And the big question I ask you, write in the comments, is it an OKX listing? Is OKX really hinting at a Kaspa listing here? Or is it an extreme coincidence because they are building something with their DeFi DEX platform? Because the green is the only thing that doesn't match, otherwise 90%. And 90% meant Yes, the price is currently going down, and the picture, well, it might have been taken from a slightly awkward angle. I don't know, but overall, it's a huge coincidence. If it is one, right? It's the truth. Write it in the comments. And what interests me, and I want to see many comments on this, is where do you think Kaspa can reach a high in 2025? Do you think we'll see 25 cents? Do you think it can go even higher? Provided, of course, something like a Binance listing, OKX listing, and other major exchanges, maybe even Coinbase. That would be absolutely amazing. And it could catapult the price upwards. So I want to have the questions answered. Is that OKX your opinion? And where do you see the peak of 2025 for the cryptocurrency, or rather for the price of KAS? In this sense, I hope you could take something away regarding the current events. Feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. That supports my work. In this sense, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.